what I like to do, one time I heard Matt Mitrione, because speaking of doing sports for 25 years, the other day, I say certain things that I'm glad you're not there, because you'll roll your eyes.
I'd be so embarrassed.
Yeah,
let me tell the story before you get to this one. Me and Bryan were doing a set at the Phoenix, stand up live in Phoenix. I leave. I don't. He gets there before me in the room. There's comics going on before us. Then we're doing Fire and Kid live, and I go. Bryan goes early, and he's there with the comics in the green room, and I just sneak in, and Bryan's telling a fight story to these 4 comics, and they're looking up just
and throwing my
off
hands.
the tee, and he's
hands.
going. Yeah. Then that one motherfucker came in, and dead serious, and I walk in, and I go, what are you doing? He goes, oh, what's up?
Like, I got caught with my hands in the cookie jar. Like,
and I went, fellas,
the liar.
You guys are buying this bullshit? And they're like, you're talking about Master Callen? I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yes.
When I'm not here, this is how it goes down.
This is even worse. So my babysitter, our nanny, is pretty girl.
The new one?
New one is
I haven't seen her.
Pretty. And so
that Swedish one.
Yeah, that was.
She get deported or what?
She got deported, unfortunately, but she was so hot. The joke I make is that some women could they could be like, I have Hep C and I'm a shoplifter, and you'd be like, we'll figure it out.
If shit, I have AIDS, I'm like, God, they figured that
we'll
out.
Work that.
Magic
we'll
made it.
That.
Magic can make it.
No, she's good. But I remember one time Matt Mitrione was talking about. He's an athlete. He's a great athlete. He said something really cool. He said, I've always been the guy, he was talking about getting older, and he goes, but I've always been the guy that my body will do whatever I tell it to, right? So physically, like he's just a physically gifted athlete. So he could play pro football, but he was talking about fighting. And
until age,
picks up
until father time goes, huh?
That's what he said. So he goes, but then father time, and you start to feel it, where you're like, your body's not doing what you can tell. But I thought it was a cool way for an athlete to describe how gifted they are physically. So I remember that. That was probably 4 years ago.
You regurgitate that now.
And so now I told you that I had a good golfing experience because a pro happened to have been there. And the pro basically said, you could be really good at golf. Now I'm 50. In other words, he said, you could be really good at golf. I took that to mean I'm obviously... He said, you know your body. This is the
first thing, Wes. I haven't seen Bryan in I don't know how many days. The first thing he tells me, he goes, listen, bro, but he's dead serious. This is not joking.
I did it really quietly,
No, he goes,
like, hey, come here, I got to talk to you.
This is how I know it's going to be a terrible story, and I probably should tell you to shut the fuck up. Because Bryan goes, this is stupid. I feel embarrassed even saying this, but I was golfing this. This is Bryan's story. He goes, I was golfing Utah, man. Golfing this pro. You ever golf with a pro? I sure haven't, Bryan. Yeah, the thing is a few pointers, and listen, it's different than boxing. It's more of like a hobby. So once you see how it's done, you can basically do it. So
the hardest sport about golf, like a motherfucker.
Guys,
like pros miss.
So he gives me a few tips. I hit it 330 yards. He looks at me, and goes, "You joined the pro tour," and I went, "You think?" He goes, "You're in tune with your body." I went, "Wow, man." Wow.
And we went on our day.
And then I went, I'm not even going to touch that right now.
No.
I'm going to let Bryan bask in this.
You were very, very charitable. You went, no, you're athletic. That's what you did. You're athletic.
I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. I can be a little harsh. I come off a little harsh sometimes.
Well, man,
like yesterday, I feel like apologizing. Even the lady at the front door, she goes, "Oh, what are you doing here on Tuesday?" And I was on the phone. I went, "What?" She goes, "What are you doing here on Tuesday?" But I was busy. It's just the way I come off sometimes. They go, I'm here every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I'm here. I do my own show. So Monday's Fire Kid. Wednesday's Fire Kid. Tuesday, I'm here every Tuesday. She goes, okay. And I went, come on. I hit the elevator, and I'm like, oh, my God. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I love it.
I feel like apologizing to her.
I love it because
she was all surprised.
She doesn't
like,
deserve it.
What?
But I probably deserve it because now I'm thinking about me being a superior athlete as a golfer. So she says, I go, I played golf. I had a good time with my dad.
You said this to her.
I got to play golf with my dad, and it was fun. I actually was hitting the ball well, and I go, the thing is, and I said this to her, I go, the thing is, this is my nanny. I don't even know her. I go, the thing is, I've been using my body in an athletic way for so long. That ready? I go, my body will pretty much do anything I tell it to. So,
when you say stuff like that, do you feel sick?
No, because nobody else is listening, and I enjoy being like Matt Mitrione. Do you ever say? And I'm 50.
Do you ever say something and like, God, if my friends were around now, I would be so.
I did Barry Katz's podcast, and I started talking about.
What's
he was talking about how Barry Katz is a really big manager. And he has a podcast, and he's had Patty Jenkins. He's had all kinds of big people on it. And I started talking about fighting because he said, you're in shape. And I was talking about how in life, there are moments where there's no left or right turn. You just have to fight. And then I brought it into physical fighting, and I go, and in the middle of it, I go, in the podcast, I go, now I want to just stop for a second. Because I do a podcast with a real fighter, Brendan Schaub, who was top 10 UFC heavyweight. If he heard me right now, he'd have to pick a spot to stare out on the wall because he'd be so embarrassed.